Well, I'm Huntley Barton and I've basically lived here all my life, we own a property, the family property's not far from here. It's sort of adjoining this paddock, and we're just traditional small farmers. I'm fortunate enough that I have a sister who's acquired over a 13-year period this square mile, 640 acres. But we haven't really taken possession of it until the last 4 or so years. CMA and Kyneton Woodlands project fenced off 150 acres, the crown of this hill, and it's got remnant manna gums leading down to red gums on this side and yellow box back on the western side of the hill. This particular site was inundated with noxious weeds, essentially hawthorns, and so if you look down behind me here, you couldn't see through the timber for hawthorns. It was just chock-a-block. I estimated that there was 10 acres in this area of solid hawthorns, and over the 4 years, through the help of Connecting Country, CMA, Kyneton Woodlands, we've been able to eradicate all those, and CMA have come in and done a hell of a lot of planting, direct drilling, and the re-veg is slowly taking place. My sister, who lives in England, her overriding priority is returning it to a natural bush, a woodlands setting. The whole block is a square mile, 640 acres, and the area that's been fenced off for conservation initially is 150 acres, and which is the crown of the hill. It involves a scoria wall of significance on the western side. The vision here is, we've done the weed eradication. We're going to have to keep on top of that over the next 10 years because the place can't be stocked at all. Eventually, I think a combination of crash grazing at certain times will be a real assistance in weed control. Eventually, it will be re-established as woodlands. Let's hope it can be perpetuated into the future and excellent farming country, and it has to be preserved as farming country. And it has to also incorporate corridors for wildlife, weather protection, benefit, etc. The two can combine together. The whole idea is to re-vegetate the whole hill. Louise didn't realise when she bought it that there was a wedgie up here, and there are 4 nests, and over the last 4 or 5 years we've had at least 2 hatchings of baby eagles, but apparently they patrol a large territory and have nests scattered throughout their territories. Conservation volunteers have helped us do all the weed eradication. They've been the most successful at doing that, which has been basically cutting, painting and dragging. We were going to burn those areas off. We had a real rabbit infestation down there, but Mixo have got them earlier this year, so we haven't burnt any of those. And they're just rotting down, and we were noticing down in the first area we did that there's lots of trees coming up through the old dead hawthorns, and eventually they'll just dissipate. On the crown of the hill here, the stock always camped on the top of the hill. So there was a huge fertility build-up on top of the hill, and you've got things like variegated thistles that grow 4 metres high, cape weed bigger than Texas. But I think over the last 4 years, that's just softening. So the fertility's creeping down the hill. It took about 18 months, 2 years before the manna gums started to grow naturally, where the red gums instantly came out of the ground. As soon as a place was isolated, they just came up in mega numbers, but the manna gums now are just creeping back in, and on the other side we're getting a few yellow box. One of the teams did spot spraying and planting species into those sprayed areas. We've done a lot of direct drilling. Last year's effort was really successful. When you're driving along, you can look back up here and you can see that it's a woodland rather than just look like a weed-infested timbered area. Noticing that the thistle population on the top of the hill is getting smaller and smaller every year, and just noticing that the main one's the natural regeneration. That's the best part of it. Kyneton Woodlands project over the last 4 years has helped us to fence the area off, come in and plant, remove weeds, and we're just seeing the benefits of it now, and we'll see the benefits of it into the future. It would be great if once people see what's happening here that they might become part of it, and we can have a connection. The project ends up being completely connected in the project area, and that would be the perfect scenario. CMA, Kyneton Woodlands have been the main funders of this project, and I highly recommend the project. It's transformed the crown of this hill. It's put us 20 years ahead. There's no way in the world we could have achieved 1/10 of what we've done over the last 3 or 4 years. It's been fantastic.